Hi viewers, it's Andy Wonder. I have binomial probability. What is binomial probability? Well, in a simple definition, binomial probability has to do with the chance of getting a specific number of successes in a fixed number of trials. This number of trials have two outcomes. They mostly have two outcomes. And what are these outcomes? We are talking about outcomes of true or false. We are talking about outcomes of pass or fail. We are talking about outcomes of heads or tails. We are talking about outcomes of yes or no. So in this case, we have a related question which centers on binomial probability. The question reads thus: 60% of cars on a highway are speeding. If 10 cars pass a camera, find to four decimal places the probability that exactly two cars are speeding. All you need to do is to recall the binomial probability formula. And here it comes. In binomial probability, we can say the probability of x will be equal to n combination x. Then let me use this dot to denote my multiplication. P raised to power x, then times q raised to power n minus x. Having written the formula, I wouldn't say the formula is enough to justify what the question entails. The next thing you need to do is to define the parameters. Okay? At this point, we understand we need to understand n to be the number of trials. N denotes the number of trials. And x here means the number of successes. X means the number of successes. While P here means the probability of success in a single trial. Then Q means the probability of failure in a single trial. N here means the number of trials. So here we are talking about 10 cars past a camera. So 10 here means the number of trials. Then we are having X, which is what? The number of successes. Remember, the question is find to four decimal places the probability that exactly two cars are speeding. So the number of successes here becomes what? 2. Then P, which is the probability of success in a single trial. Remember, 60% of cars on a highway are speeding. So the probability of success in a single trial becomes what? 60%. But of course, 60% can be converted to decimal. So if you have 60%, it's same as having 60 over 100, right? This cancels this. You're having 6 over 10. Move this to this side. 1 0, move it to one place. So you're having 0. Sorry, here you have 0.6. So therefore, 60 over 100 is what? 0.6 in decimal. To get the probability of failure in a single trial, you have to subtract 0.6 from 1. 1 minus 0.6 will give us 0.4. So these are the values we need to plug into this equation to get the probability that exactly two cars are speeding. There's one more thing we need to do. We have n combination x, which can also be written thus: n combination x. How do you get this combination? Remember, n combination x means n factorial over x factorial into bracket n minus x, then factorial. And you know n is what? 10. So n factorial becomes 10 factorial. Then I have 10 factorial over x is what? 2. So x factorial means 2 factorial. Then n remains 10. X is what? 2. So n minus x becomes 10 minus 2, which is 8. Then bring down your factorial. Then in addition, um 10 factorial simply means 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 down to 1. But if you look at this, you discover that in this 10 factorial, I can bring it to what? 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. Why? Because I can see my 8 factorial here in order to cancel out. So I have 10 times 9 times 8 factorial. Like I said earlier, this 8 factorial will cancel this word, 8 factorial. So I have 2 factorial, 8 factorial. So 8 factorial cancels 8 factorial. What do I have? 10 times 9, which is what? 90. Of course, 2 factorial is what? 2 times 1. So 90 divided by 2 is what? 45. So we can say that n combination x is what? 45. So this will be needed here. Moving forward, therefore we have 45 times p raised to power x, and p is what? 0.6. So that and x is what? 2. So that becomes into bracket 0.6 raised to power x, which is what? 2. Then times q raised to power n minus s. Q is what? 0.4. N is what? 10. X is what? 2. So plug in. We have 0.4 into n minus x, which is 10 minus 2. Then we have 45 times 0.6 raised to power 2 times 0.4. 10 minus 2 is what? 8. So we're having 0.4 raised to power 8. We can now multiply. This becomes 45 times 0.6 raised to power 2 is what? 0.36. What about 0.4 raised to power 8? I need my calculator. 0.4 raised to power 8 will give me 0.000655536. That is ridiculous. I've decided to leave it this way. Write it in full because I want to approximate to 4 decimal places at the end. So this is very, very important. Remove. 45 times 0.36 times 0.000655536. That is 0.010616832. Then we need to approximate to 4 decimal places. So probability x, which is exactly 2, will be approximately 0.1234. The number next to this 6 is 1, so nothing is added. So we're having 0.0106 to 4 dp. That becomes our final answer. Bye bye. Please like, comment, and share. Thank you. Bye bye.